electrification, connectivity, and autonomy are not just trends shaping the passenger vehicle space. Industrial vehicles are increasingly adopting these innovations to improve their sustainability and their operational efficiencies.
Smart home is part of the healthier living story, and this is really why we felt like these categories should be together in Venetian. So you got to go there and experience the energy.
Hi, I'm Sam Ha. I teach at UC Berkeley and I advise entrepreneurs. And I'm here at CES because the energy of entrepreneurship is very strong here. I love to see people trying new things and trying to innovate in all these different ways. I'm excited to dive into the floor right now and see what kinds of experiments people are trying. Oftentimes you see innovations in technology leading, and sometimes you see innovations in the market leading. And so I'm interested in seeing what people are seeing in the future of what consumers want and what the technology can do. So this is a field that's growing in a lot of popularity. I call it neurodiversity learning. So this is specifically targeted towards autism spectrum disorder and social disorders. And they're building games to help kids that are suffering from these issues to build their social skills and build their ability to build relationships with other people. And what we were mostly talking about was that with these kinds of apps, something that gives me some pause and it makes me think about whether there's one way to grow or one way to build relationships. And so there's a body of evidence that's growing in what they call neurodiversity affirming practices, which are not necessarily about fixing kids that are dealing with this, but using the strengths that a child has if they have these kinds of disorders. So that's very new research that's happening. So yeah, it's very interesting to me. I remember this from CES last year, but I think it was a prototype last year. And so now it looks like they've made a product out of it, or a spoon and chopsticks. And it's a way to use inductive electricity to give the sensation of saltiness. So salt is obviously a very important flavor profile and it enhances flavor for a lot of the food we eat, but it has some bad effects if we eat too much of it. And so it's just a fascinating thing that made a lot of news last year, and it's very cool to see that they made it a product this year. This is a trend where for the maybe past 5 years, 5 to 8 years, there's been a lot of innovations in the optimized self or optimized health. And so, for example, I have this ring, which is a smart ring that tracks my sleep and gives me a lot of statistics about my heart health. And what they're trying to do is create non-invasive ways to understand your hormone health. So this is usually something that you can get by getting blood tests and stuff like that, but that's not something that you want to or should do every day. And so this is hopefully using your saliva to understand your hormones. And so if you care about that, it gets into very fine detail about these statistics about yourself. And so it's interesting that there are all these different ways to measure these things without going into your body or drawing blood from your body. And so that's what a lot of people are trying to do in health tech. So this is kind of in between health tech for like actually staying, actually not being sick, but also kind of the optimized self. So trying to be a better self every day by measuring all the little things that affect you and your body and your emotions. Can you explain which hormones this?
I have a test here, a demo.
Yeah.
I can show you. So basically, it's a cortisol test. It measures your cortisol.
And can you explain what cortisol is?
In your saliva? Yeah. So cortisol is a hormone in your body that regulates like how you wake up, like when you go to sleep. It's really like related to diurnal cycle, your diurnal cycle, and it's also related to stress, because like the higher the stress, the higher the cortisol. So you want to measure it basically to get some insights to improve like your lifestyle, to get to your optimal health.
Yeah. So is there an optimal level of cortisol, or does it change at a different time of day? Or
It changes at different times.
okay, so there's a different optimal level.
So if you measure your cortisol after like a high intensity exercise, for example, it's going to be higher than just like chilling out at home.
So can you give me an example of what an insight would look like? Like
Yeah.
I just exercised, I took this.
So,
What do I need to know about whether it's high or low?
yeah, so let's say you usually exercise at night, and your cortisol level is like higher than the normal at night. Then we can recommend you maybe everything that is like high intensity training. Do it more like in the morning,
Earlier in the day.
than before going to bed.
Sure.
So also screen time, you can cut screen time before going 2 hours before going to bed.
Yeah, so that one was about cortisol levels. We just had a conversation about basically it has to do with energy and stress. So usually when you're exercising, you should have high cortisol levels, and that's a good thing. And when you're going to sleep, you should have lower cortisol levels, was what they were trying to explain to me. And so this is a way to check how is my energy before I'm going to sleep, maybe. And so the insight you could get is, oh, my cortisol levels are too high before I'm going to sleep. Maybe I should change the time that I work out or the time that I eat. Or maybe I should do something to lower my stress before I go to sleep. All right, so we went through about half of the room here today, and we saw a lot that's trending in the world of health tech. So for example, we got this, and there are a lot of AI solutions right now, and the trend is what is the role of the human in the process? So in the creative industry, for example, are you trying to take the human out of the process? Or when is the human work so tedious that it's actually better to just automate it rather than having to completely use skilled humans, a skilled human workforce every single time. I think the entrepreneurial energy always inspires me. When people are trying new things, it gives me a lot of energy. It gives me a lot of hope for humanity, because every single one of these booths is a human problem that people are trying to solve. And whether it's through technology or not, the fact that we're trying to help humanity, whether it's to learn how to build better relationships or to better understand our own bodies and perform better as humans. There's so many different ways that people are diving into really difficult problems and trying to solve them for us. So that's what entrepreneurial energy is all about for me.